I'm really, really hot.
That was fresh.
I'm really, really hot.
Here we go. Fucking with the best.
Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody.
Welcome back to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Pride.
I'm really, really hot.
That was fresh.
I'm really, really hot.
Here we go. Fucking with the best.
Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody.
Welcome back to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Pride.
I'm really, really hot.
That was fresh.
I'm really, really hot.
Here we go. Fucking with the best.
Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Everybody.
Welcome back to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Pride.
Welcome to the Conscious Fever podcast, hosted by Carl Price and Paul Mullins. Coming to you live from Louisville, Kentucky.
Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Price.
Either way, I don't give a damn what you think you are entitled to.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. So listen responsibly.
It's the best of the best. It's the one and only DJ Ice, Louisville's coldest DJ.
I should bring the microphone closer. Good evening. Welcome to Conscious Fever here on Ice Entertainment Television and Conscious Fever Radio. I am Carl Price, your host tonight. I will be joined here shortly by Louisville attorney extraordinaire Paul Mullins. In the meantime, let me see my cufflinks there. Maybe the light's too bright tonight. Hope everybody's doing okay. I see everybody joining in. So I'll say hello, Stephanie. Hello, Renee. Hello, Monique. And hello, Madeline Morrison. This is our show tonight. We're going to try to do what we can to make this show a decent show. I'm touching stuff here, and I probably shouldn't be. But in any case, Paul is just joined the Diaz, as they say. I don't know what all that means, but he has. Anyway, I'm Carl Price. This is Conscious Fever here on Ice Entertainment Television, Conscious Fever Radio. We're going to talk about three things tonight. We're going to take questions. So hopefully y'all thank you, Renee. We're going to put your comments up when we come back after break. We're going to talk about literacy tests. Paul has some type of affection to the literacy test from 1965 in the state of Louisiana and Alabama. And we're going to talk about, and not necessarily in this order, then we're going to talk about the LA riots. I think we have a question about the LA riots, and then the question about the NBA. So anyway, when we come back, We're going to get this thing started. So I'm Carl Price. This is Conscious Fever here on Ice Entertainment Television, Conscious Fever Radio. On the other side of this quick break, Paul Mullins is going to join me live here in downtown Louisville. Be right back.
I don't want them, no, get them all off me. Say that for hell, she'll cause a scene. 4 cars deep, we'll come through on a late night. Chicken spot, wings and fries, we call that a day night. Lights on, so out, I don't have no stage fright. Knew that I was built for this forever, ever, ever.
You are listening to Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Price.
We ride bands, 10 times 10, all my friends, it's for real.
And we are back with more Conscious Fever, hosted by Carl Price, Esquire.
That would be me. Welcome back to Conscious Fever here on Ice Entertainment Television and Conscious Fever Radio. I am Carl Price, your host, live here in the great city of Louisville, Kentucky. This man is Paul Mullins.
Hey, what's up? Why you just gonna pop the camera on me without me?
No, I mean, I'm just saying Paul is here, so there he is, y'all. Paul, we've got some early risers, as we always do. So let's just
Same
go to
crew.
the comment board.
All right.
And then we'll get the comments up. Of course,
Stephanie's
your
always
girl.
first.
Hello, Stephanie. How are you tonight? Hey, Conscious Fever family. Hey, Monique. Welcome, as always. There you go, Paul. You got the first one again. Oh, it gets even better, Paul. Look at that.
Oh, we did get engaged last week.
Did y'all get? Oh, y'all got engaged last night and last week on the show.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she said it twice. Wow. Good evening, Renee. Thanks for joining us once again. Okay, I'm going right back with all of that. Hey, Step. Madeline Morrison, good afternoon. Good afternoon to you as well. Although it is evening, Madeline. Hello.
So technical.
Thank you, Renee, for loving the look. And you're driving. Oh, you better be careful. You shouldn't be driving and trying to watch us because we might get you. I'll let Paul say the rest. Thank you. I don't know if you're talking to me or somewhere else, but anyway, thank you. I love the tie too. It was a little difficult this morning putting on this tie.
Go park.
She's gonna park.
Just to listen to us. You crazy.
Stephanie, once you find out, you let us know. She can come to the studio. She's probably not coming to my house. Thank you, Madeline. I don't know. Anyway.
Hey, Renee. Hey, Monique. What's up, Tony?
What up, Tony Profumo?
Fumo.
Yeah. Brandon Clayton.
What's up, Clayton?
What's up, Mr. Clayton? Thanks for joining us tonight. Girl, leave Paul alone. Oh,
Here we go.
There we go. Why are you sorry, Madeline? Paul looking extra nice.
Extra.
Okay.
Extra.
Renee going to her man's place. LOL. Oh,
Here we go. Y'all getting started. Wait till, can we just get past the topic?
Can we get past the topic, right? Okay, she's ready, Paul. Yes, Carl, she's coming for you because she ain't touching my Paul. Oh, wow.
I got engaged last week.
Y'all got engaged last week.
I wasn't there, but
she said she's heading for Paul. That's what she's gonna do. That's what she says. Anyway, Paul, this is Conscious Fever tonight, man, and we've got some questions that people are going to be asking tonight. Alvin, if you're watching on Facebook, it'd be great. Oh, okay, there you go. You got to go to YouTube to actually get what's called Carl with a K instead of Carl. What's the difference?
Ethnicity.
Yeah, actually, the Germans spell a lot of shit with K.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff with K, I should say. My best response to that question, Alvin, is that I have a twin brother, and unless she was going to name him with the C, my mother named us Keith and Carl.
Okay.
And both K's. And there's a lot of other people in my family that has first names that begin with K. So I think that's probably the rationale.
I actually never knew that.
Huh?
I never knew that a lot of your tribe had a
My
names.
tribe. What are you calling my family a tribe?
It's about 19, 20 of y'all.
Mona Lisa Khan. Thanks for joining us, Mona Lisa. Carl, you ready? Because the lioness is coming. Oh, they were having a ball tonight, speaking to each other and everything. But listen, Paul, we have some questions tonight. People are gonna peruse. Join us tonight with questions and Keith and Carl, Renee, Keith and Carl. And so
they don't look alike, by the way.
My mother had 4 sets of twins. They were all fraternal.
Jesus.
3 sets of boys and
that's 8
one
babies
set
right
of girls.
there.
That's 8 right there. That's just, that's just half the family. But anyway, my mother loved her. God rest her soul. Anyway, Paul, let's get to some of these topics. What do you think? What do you think? Should we? Unless you want to give an introduction of some sort.
I mean, I remember last week we were here. You swore up and down that the Oklahoma City Thunder were going to run away with the series, and right now it's 2-1. So
I still think Oklahoma is going to win it.
They can't run away with it.
Anyway, but let's not talk about that. We'll be prompted with a question about that. Let's get this question. If you're ready for it, Paul. Are you ready for it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what's coming, but let's see.
What's going on outside, man? Look behind you.
Looks like police or something.
No, look behind you. Is the police down there?
I see it. Yeah, I see it on the screen.
No, look the other way. Look the other way. Look behind you, the other way.
Okay.
No, go all the way, Paul. You're not
What
even
are
looking
you
out the
talking
window.
about?
Look out the window.
Boy.
What's wrong with you looking out the window? What do you have? What kind of problem do you have with looking out the window?
I ain't looking out the window. Just come on. Question.
Paul won't look out the window. Anyway, here's our first question, y'all.
My name is Nellie, and I live about 45 miles south of Los Angeles. Carl, what do you and Paul think about what is going on in Los Angeles?
Jeez, which part is she talking about? She talking about the senator getting arrested?
No, she's talking about the riots just in general, the ICE. LA said, listen, ICE, you are not welcome. You are just completely not welcome in LA. So there's a lot of rioting going on out there. There was actually some protests here. I don't know if you knew about that, Paul.
This protests are spreading across the nation. It's like, I wouldn't call it anti-Trump, but people are protesting.
It's all anti-Trump.
It is all anti-Trump, right? But they're calling it a different type of movement. It's going to spread. It's going to spread all over. And is it going to lead to a civil war? I don't know. But
what do you think is causing this? I mean, let me ask this question this way: if the federal government has the authority to deport people, even though we think ethically and it's sort of inhuman, right, to have some of these people who have been on paper for many, many years waiting to get their hearing or get their process, whatever that is, and then they just come and snatch them up, and some of them have families and different things like that. So what I'm asking you is that
it's worse than that.
I mean, if it's all legal from the federal government.
No, it's not. It's not all legal from the federal government.
I'm not saying if. I'm posing.
I got a client right now who's been deported 2 or 3 times. Not deported. He's been detained by ICE 2 or 3 times with fear of deportation, and he's got a visa. He got a visa, and he got to show it to him every time. And they deport. They nab him with ICE, and they say, "Oh, we got you. Prove us you got a visa," and he does it every time. He's detained right now. It's what's going on is shoot first, ask questions later, and I think all across the nation, people are just tired of this government overreach because it's not done for a perceivably legitimate purpose. They want to get rid of illegals, and no one's sitting here saying that if you're illegal that you have a right to be here. But certainly there's a humane way about doing this. I mean,
what about those legal people?
What do you mean? Yeah, we could be next. I mean, that's the fear. But you know, when you start degrading the due process rights of people, whether you think they're supposed to be here or not, and all that, when you start degrading due process, it doesn't take very much longer for it to go into people who actually have rights to, you know, take away their due process. And people are just getting fed up with with this whole sweep of illegal aliens, because it's not always a good thing. I mean, I saw a story on YouTube and I read the article. They deported a child who was here for hospital services, and she could have died. And I'm sorry, I keep using the word deport when I mean detain. And they were telling that the child was going to have to go back, and they already sent their parents back. And they came over here for, for medical needs. I can find that story, but it's just crazy stories out there, and it just don't make sense. So LA's fed up with it. They have a high Hispanic population, so I get that. But, you have this thing called states' rights, and right now he's mobilized. When I say the Trump administration has mobilized the National Guard. And it doesn't sound like I'm saying much, but that's a big deal because you're not supposed to be able to do that without the governor's approval, and the governor didn't approve, and he did it anyway.
Wow.
So now
and apparently I already went down the super slide. When I went down the one, I was scared half to death. I just freaked out.
What was that?
No, that was just somebody asking for you. Let's go to the comment board, Paul. Let's go to the comment board. So our friend Renee has a public servant, she said. There you go, Paul. Get on.
I appreciate that.
Glowing, she said. You're glowing, Paul.
What is this about? Oh, my goodness. She's getting good. So, yeah, they're talking about the senator in California, how he stood up to protest. What's Trump's spokesperson?
I believe the protest will lead to violence of good people. Yeah, that crazy lady from Wayne.
What's her name? I don't know her name.
Home or something like that. Civil war going
on here. Right. It could be. We're sitting here saying, is it coming? It could already be here. So,
keep going. I'm just giving, oh my God. Oh, hell no. Death will escalate to include children and the elderly. Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm going to look for that story.
Coming to visit the church, but Linus won't be there. She's leaving.
I got this.
Oh, gosh, what is that? Yeah, Monique thinks so too, Alvin. There she is. There's a name, boy.
Where's Noam?
Noam, yeah.
That's the Trump lady?
Yeah, that's the Trump lady. She's the
acting.
She's the Homeland Security
advisor.
Yeah, Homeland Security person.
Chief, right? She's the one actually doing I don't know how they call them. Trump. They always have a scapegoat. Like Doge wasn't really run by Trump; it was run by another woman, and Trump, Elon Musk was taking all the heat for it.
Right.
I don't understand. Like I said, somebody 3 weeks ago accused me of having Trump derangement syndrome. I kind of checked out. I don't spend nearly as much time trying to figure out what's going on. And that's wrong to say, but
yeah.
What am I going to do?
I mean, you can waste time if you want. Anyway, we mentioned at the top of the
I'm going to find this name of this child that.
Yeah, we mentioned at the top of the hour that we were going to talk about the literacy test. So, Paul, here's a question for you on the literacy test. How about that? The producer will pull it up.
After the Civil War, many southern states enacted laws designed to block black citizens from voting. One of the most common tools used was the literacy test, which often required voters to read and interpret complex legal documents. Right. How did these literacy tests function to suppress the black vote, even though they appeared neutral on their face?
Okay, they didn't appear neutral on their face. They appear, if we read them today, we're going to laugh at them. We're going to show them to you how stupid they are. You've heard of these things, but you're going to actually see the test, and you're going to see how stupid they are and how they have nothing to do with trying to decide whether or not somebody can vote. But the issue is that it wasn't that the tests themselves were stupid. It was who they gave it to. They were specifically designed to keep the people you didn't want to vote out. So they got charged with having to have a test. Other people who you wanted to vote were like, oh, well, they're fine. They don't need the test because their grandfather, they used to have something called a grandfather clause, which was if your grandfather voted, then you don't have to take a literacy test, right? So now you've got a new group of, okay. Which one is this? Louisiana.
This is Louisiana. Looks like state of Louisiana.
Draw a line around the number or letter of this sentence, right? So if you got a small education, you're like, well, draw a line around the number. There's no number. Or is it number one? Or is it the word number? So is it the number? So that test right there has multiple answers, right? So you may take that test. You may make the wrong answer. You may be a college-educated Harvard grad, but you could miss that question. All right, number 11 says, cross out the number necessary when making the number below 1 million. So is the number below, do I cross out enough numbers to make that number 1 million? Or do I have to cross out more numbers than that to make the number below 1 million, right? Do I need to make it 100,000 because that would be below 1 million? But those are the types of questions. So they have these literacy tests online, and when you read them, they're utterly laughable. Try to answer one, Carl.
Try to answer one. Let's see. Draw a line through the 2 letters below that come last in the alphabet. V, W, X,
and remember,
Y,
you only
Z.
got 10 minutes to answer this, and it's
look at this.
50
X,
questions.
Y, Z. So it would be Y and Z. But if you didn't have an education, then it just didn't make any sense, right?
If you have an education, it's still hard. So let's look at that question. Draw a line through the letter below that comes earliest in the alphabet. Earliest in the alphabet, you automatically think B, right?
Which one are you talking about now?
Number 8.
Number 8. Draw a line through the letter below that comes earliest in the alphabet.
So you think B, right?
Yeah. Why wouldn't it be B?
I don't know. But we'll go check our answers. We'll go check our answers.
I don't know if does this have answers?
The answers are usually at the bottom of it.
In the lines below, cross out each number that is more than 20 but less than 30. Look at the line of numbers, number 17. Look at the line of numbers below and place on the blank the number that should come next.
All right, and you've got 10 minutes to answer all these questions. And
how many questions is it?
It's like 50. You got 10 minutes to answer it. So print the word vote upside down, but in the correct order.
Wow.
Okay? Oh, they get harder as you get closer to the end. Keep going. Draw a figure that, hold on, look at this one. Draw a figure that is a square in shape, divided in half by drawing a straight line from the northeast corner to the southwest corner, then divide it once more by drawing a broken line from the middle of its western side to the middle of its eastern side. Now, that might take you 10 minutes to try to draw that picture.
Right.
We're on question 23. Keep going.
Is it more?
Oh, yeah. Print the word, and they get harder. Print the word 24. Print the word that looks the same, whether it's printed forwards or backwards. Right?
Right.
Write down, look at this one. Write down the line provided. Write down on the line provided what you read in the triangle below. Paris in the spring. It's Paris in the spring. So it's just a trick question. Doesn't mean you can't read, but if you put Paris in the spring, suddenly you can't read.
So, were you supposed to put Paris in the spring?
That's what it says.
Write down on the line provided what you read in the triangle below. These sounds like law school questions, Paul.
These are tricky questions on purpose. It gets worse. We're not even halfway done. In the square below, write the second letter of the fourth word. The second. Oh, my goodness. So draw 5 circles that one common interlocking part. What?
I know, right?
What does that have to do with voting?
Grading the Louisiana test. For example, although 5 says to circle something, questions 1 and 4 say to draw a line around something. If the examiner insisted a circle was not a line, the applicant failed. Wow.
So there was a movie about these tests. It was a movie with Oprah Winfrey. I can't think of the movie. I think it was called Selma, where she failed her literacy test. Does anybody remember that movie Selma? I think she failed her literacy test in that movie, and it wasn't. I don't think it was a popular movie, but it was a good historic piece. But these are types of tests that people had to take in 1965. So you think, while we look at this and think it's crazy, and we think, how is this possible? Think about it. In some state,
she said,
in some year,
come up with this?
They thought I didn't come up with it. No, tell them, Carl, did I come up with
no,
this?
You didn't.
These
Somebody
are real tests that black people mostly, almost exclusively to be fair, had to take before you were allowed to vote. You've heard of poll taxes. These are literacy tests that you had to take to be able to vote. And you had 10 minutes to take it. And if you missed one question, you failed the whole test.
Why is Alvin talking about football?
That's probably good for Louisville football. I haven't.
He's coming to Louisville, isn't he?
Yeah.
You heard that, right?
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
So Renee says, who came up with this stuff?
Back in the 60s, in order for you to vote, if you were a Negro in the South, you had to pass this.
So the reason why I bring that up is it was a form of voter suppression. So we still have voter suppression going on now, right? What's a common voter suppression? They want you to have a voter ID. That's a form of voter suppression. In other words, you think, well, all I gotta do is pass this literacy test, and I get to take get to vote. Right? Well, all I got to do is get my voter ID and I get to vote. They're never designed for the purpose that it's intended, that it claims it's intended for, right? So these tests weren't given out to everyone equally, and they were only given out to people who look like, people that they didn't want to vote. So not only did you have to take the test to vote, it probably suppressed people from even trying to take the test to vote, right? I can't read very well. I'm not going there and taking that test. I just ain't gonna vote, right? I can't get an ID. I don't want the government. I don't have no, permanent residence. I don't have my social security card. I don't have what else that you might need to get a voter ID. I don't have it. So what does it do? People just stay home. Like I said, I ain't gonna get no voter ID card. It's just another form of voter suppression. You got to be on the lookout for it. Anytime you try to restrict somebody's votes with something that looks simple and easy, is done for a reason. We know that the people in the inner city, they're not going to go out and get their voter ID. They're not going to get their correct information, and they're just going to be a certain group which says, but I'm not going down there and waiting in the line at the DMV to get this. I'm not doing it. Voter suppression. So stop thinking that they're asking you to do something easy, because back in 1965, some brilliant racists thought this was explained to people that, no. If you can read, this is an easy test. But it's stupid because it was never designed for people to pass. It's designed to keep you from voting. Same with all the new rules that they're trying to implement all across the country, especially in the battleground states that affect people in inner cities. They're trying to not let people vote. Keep that in mind. There's another one. Show it the other one from another state. Do you have the other one?
That was the one from Alabama.
Alabama. Just as bad. But look how silly these questions are. If you can find it.
I can find it. Oops.
But y'all need to just go out there and Google some of these literacy tests, and you'll look at them and you'll say, how is this possible? How did we really think that this was okay? Now, they were struck down, but how did we ever think that this was okay?
Here's the Alabama test. Which of the following is right, guaranteed by the Bill of Rights, right? Definitely most people today would not know that, right?
Yeah,
because
people couldn't answer these. So then you've got, I know the answer, but I'm a lawyer. Right. And you might look at that and you might not be able to answer it. I'm not going to ask people to try to answer it.
So why don't y'all try to answer
some of these?
Yeah, try to answer it. The federal census of population is taken every 5 years. Is that true or false?
What's the next one? If a person is indicted for a crime, name 2 rights that he has. Now, we're lawyers. I know these, right?
Where did you see that at?
Number 3.
If a person is indicted for a crime, name 2 rights that he has. So what you're saying is that it's ordinary people won't. Here it says, to serve as president of the United States, the age where people should know that now. The Supreme Court of the United States, lawmaking body of the state.
So the answer to number 1 is trial by jury. And the answer number 2, you could say trial by jury. You could say the right not to testify. You could say the right to a speedy and public trial. There's several. But we know that because we're lawyers.
Stephanie says she's too young to know these questions. See, that's how
too young
dumb people are today, right?
Oh, did you just call Stephanie dumb?
No, I didn't call her dumb. But it says a U.S. senator is elected for a term of how many years? And most people don't know it's 6, right?
Right. But these are all.
But who sits around and find this stuff on?
Well, this is almost like an immigration test, right? And a lot of people couldn't.
This is a damn law school test,
right?
By a majority of vote of members of the Congress can change provisions of the Constitution of the United States. True or false? That's false.
No,
it's not a majority.
It's not a Congress.
It's not a majority,
and it's not Congress. It's states ratify amendments.
Right. So
but we're lawyers.
Yeah. So that's what we talk about. I mean, that's what you're talking about, Paul, when you talk about the literacy test. Literacy test.
I mean, we could have had a whole show on that because it's quite ridiculous. We could have had tested people. I guarantee you, everybody would have failed, because you can only miss one question. So everybody who failed, including me, I'm sure I would have missed one. Yeah. But it's ridiculous that you had to take these tests just to vote. Aren't we glad they struck that down? Aren't we glad they also struck down that you had to pay a tax to vote? Because that means if you couldn't afford to vote, you couldn't vote. Even if the tax was $1, if you didn't have $1, you couldn't vote.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Take a quick break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Conscious Fever here on Ice Entertainment Television and Conscious Fever Radio. I am Carl Price, your host. This is right here is Paul Mullins.
Okay, yes, that's my name.
That's his name. I don't know, Paul. Yeah, Paul, speak please.
She must be talking about when I was.
So true, Professor Paul.
Oh, goodness gracious. I'm not a professor. 112. There you go. Just trying to stay woke. So he got the false question about every 5 years. She got the 10 years.
Bernie's a she. Okay.
Okay. Can't answer. Silence attorney.
She answered the question.
That's the year of the, how old you have to be?
To be president, you gotta be old.
Thought it was senator, yeah.
Is that what you meant?
6 terms for senator, she got that.
Monique, you're pretty smart with this stuff.
Oh, she could have asked him. She got to vote. The rest of us would have been like, we can't vote. All right, she got...
What's your question for us, Madeline?
You would need to have paid attention. She's not slept in government class. That's right. They don't even teach that no more. They don't even teach government anymore. They really need to bring that class. They need to bring that back.
I think that question was for us, Paul. booths and the butts.
I cannot.
I cannot. No, I cannot. Eliminated was Single Women like Tyler Perry. Oh man, let's talk about Straw.
I never seen Straw.
You never seen Straw, so you can't talk about it.
Paul, I respect the show very much. Thank you, Renee.
Let's talk about Straw.
I never seen it.
I know you haven't, so I can take this one. So let's
look it up.
Let's have a conversation about Straw. So Straw, I'm glad you brought that up, Alvin, because there's a lot I want to say about not just Straw, but some of Tyler Perry movies.
You don't like Tyler Perry?
No, I didn't say I didn't like Tyler Perry. I was just saying that there's an observation that I made watching Tyler Perry movies. So here recently, I've been rising early, like 4:35 in the morning. So then I would go home, and I'll be in bed about like 9 or 9:30. Yeah, believe it or not, man. I'm in bed by 9.
I'm reading this.
I'll be in bed by 9 or 9:30, and so I started watching these movies
on Netflix.
And a lot of them are Tyler Perry movies and BET Plus. I don't know if y'all have that stuff, but a lot of them are good movies. So I watched Straw. I thought Straw was a very, very interesting movie. I thought it was very good. I thought Taraji P. Henson was very, very good. That is an Oscar performance. That is an Academy Award, hands down, what she did in Straw. So Paul in Straw, I know y'all don't watch a lot of black movies out there where you are.
Shut the hell up.
So I know you don't watch a lot of black movies out there where you are.
Talking about it just came out this year.
You know where you live. Well, you didn't.
I don't watch a lot of Netflix.
But you haven't watched Straw.
I don't watch a lot of Netflix. So here's
the thing. So in Straw,
going to impugn my reputation and move on. Like
I'm gonna give you the 10-second. I'm gonna give you the 20-second version of Straw. First of all, Sinbad is in there, and he looks horrible, and he's in a wheelchair. And Tyler Perry made a comment that he needed a job, so he thought he would give him a job in a role. And Sinbad played a pretty good part. He was a homeless guy begging for money. Looks like he needed to shave and all of that.
Stop it.
No, for what?
Oh, you talking about in the show? He played a homeless guy begging for money.
Yeah. And then Taraji P. Henson was very, very good. And Paul, you can appreciate this. So she was and just let me finish it off. She was a single mother that basically just had a bad day. Her daughter had asthma real bad. She was living in an apartment where she couldn't sleep. She's working 2 jobs. She couldn't sleep because the music was loud.
Okay.
The landlord lived down the walkway. She told the landlord, my daughter has to be at school and she needs to get some sleep, but you can't because of that loud music. The landlord says to her, well, they pay their rent. So it was such a really, really bad. So her day just got real bad. So she got to work. They were short and all that. But anyway, fast forward, she has a really, really bad day. She gets into a car accident. She ends up robbing a bank because somebody ended up robbing her.
What?
No, she ended up robbing a bank.
Turn. I'm not gonna support her now.
No, you got to watch the movie, Paul. And you were speaking of support. So this big crowd came outside of the bank to support her, because one of the bank tellers that was held hostage in there turned her on live talking about why she wasn't coming out. It's good. It's a good movie, so I'm not gonna spoil it for you.
It's probably a good movie, but the premise is like the guy.
You gotta watch the movie, Paul.
But it's like the true story of the guy whose son died, and he goes out and kills any cop he sees.
We're not going there. You've got to watch.
That's real life.
You have to watch the movie.
Well, it's a movie. I'll watch it as a movie.
You have to watch the movie.
You can't tell me that she's justified in robbing a bank.
No, I didn't say that she was justified. All I said to you was that I think you ought to watch the movie.
I will.
Just came out before you judge her, and before you judge her as a bad person.
No, I like Taraji though.
Well, I mean, you should go and I know y'all hearing that. I'm sorry, but you should go and check it out.
Well, Alvin brought it up.
You said what?
It just came out this year, right? That's what it says, 2025. How long's it been on Netflix, y'all?
It is. There she is, and she did a wonderful job in this movie. I just thought that she was it. She was it. She really did a wonderful job. But I'm gonna make a comment, Paul, because you don't watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies. So lately,
I do watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies.
Okay. Well,
what do you mean I don't watch a lot? I watch a lot of Tyler Perry movies.
No, I'm not talking about his plays. I'm talking about his movies.
I watch both.
Okay.
I don't watch a lot of plays.
Do you have an observation from watching She Doesn't Rob the Bank? Yeah, she doesn't rob the bank, Paul.
Okay, good.
But here's the thing. Hey, for those of you, again, PSA, a public service announcement. If y'all are commenting on Facebook, we can't post them because Facebook doesn't allow us to do that anymore. You got to go to the our YouTube channel and watch it, and then you can post there and we can post it here. But I can still see your comments. But some people. But anyway, Taraji P. Henson was very, very good in this movie, man. If you all out there listening, if you haven't seen it, check it out. It's really a movie that I believe touches a lot of single black women and their circumstances. I know some disagreed with that. But I will tell you this. Here's my observation. How many Tyler Perry movies have you watched, Paul?
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10.
Yeah.
And do you remember the titles at all?
I love Madea Goes to Jail. I watched all 4 of them.
I'm not talking about the ones with Madea. I'm talking about the ones without Madea. Those are the ones. See, you're stuck on Madea.
I do like Madea, but I mean, I've seen the other ones, but
such as. So you haven't seen Straw?
No, I haven't. That just came out.
Okay. So here's my observation about Tyler Perry movies. Do not watch it. You know, I've got a TV in my office lobby. Do not play it on your TV in your office lobby, because most of his movies is where you're going to see more naked black and brown men. No, I'm serious, Paul. You didn't see it in Straw.
So you calling me gay?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not calling you gay. I'm just saying.
No, I'm talking about Tyler Perry.
No, I'm not calling Tyler Perry gay. He does dress up like
a woman.
I'm not doing any of that. What I'm saying to you is that there was an observation that I made. He has a movie called Mia Culper. Mia Culper is Kelly Rowan, basically playing a criminal defense attorney who defends this guy, and it gets a little weird at the end. But you know, if you want to know what that guy's backside looked like, everybody could probably explain that to you because his backside was shown a lot in that movie. So I'm just saying that that's not the only movie. And my observation from a lot of Tyler Perry movies is that he shows a lot of naked men. Why? I don't know why. But not in Straw.
I thought I'd seen. Most of my movies I've seen have to do with Madea.
Yeah,
it's like 7 movies.
Right. And those are not the ones that I'm talking about. Madea is something totally different. But all these other movies that he's making, it's just really interesting, man. I mean, I just thought I would make that observation, and I'm on pins and needles watching it, so I can't watch it in my office anymore. I know not to watch Tyler Perry movies in my office because, you know, who knows what might pop up. But anyway, Paul, we are getting
Mad Black Woman. Yes, so I'm looking through this little IBDM.
Paul is. In the meantime, Paul, can we take this last question before we get back to the comments?
I like Madea, even though they don't get very high stars.
Here's our last question of the night, y'all.
All right.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for taking my call.
Hey.
My name is Zephyrin from South Bend, and I've been following this final series closely. And I've got to say, it's been one of the most unpredictable matchups in years. Indiana's bench has really stepped up, especially in Game 3, and Halliburton looks like he's finally settled in. But OKC has been consistent all season with Shea playing like an MVP and a deep rotation that can wear teams down late in the series. So here's my question. When you look at both teams' strengths, coaching, and momentum right now, who do you think is more likely to win the NBA championship this year, OKC or Indiana, and why?
That's an interesting question, Paul. I think OKC is going to win,
Why?
Zephyrin. Why? Because I think they're the better team.
Why?
Because they have more talent.
What talent do they have that's better?
Paul, come on.
I'm just.
Have
You've been on the Oklahoma.
Have you watched it? No, I've been
2
on
games.
OKC.
I missed one
I've
game.
been on. Go ahead, say what you were about to say.
I watched 2 games. I missed 1 game.
Okay, I've been on OKC. What were you about to say?
For about 2 weeks.
Good. Now they're in the finals. There's a reason I was on OKC, right? Because I think OKC is the best team. Definitely the best team.
You were the person
left.
who said Indiana wouldn't make it to the finals, and I said
I really did not think that. I thought New York would do it.
Okay, you was wrong.
You know, but I'm never. That's why I don't.
That's
why I don't do.
Right, because you lose all your money.
I mean,
But
I would lose all my money because I'm not.
Bet
good
with your heart, not with your eyes. See, I look at with my eyes, and I looked at Indiana, and I said, well, they wasn't supposed to win the very first series, and they wasn't supposed to win the second series, and I'm watching them play New York, and I'm like, this team has shown all they do is come back at the end, and nobody's shown that they can withstand, usually their fourth quarter onslaught. And what they do is, I said this 3 weeks ago, they come in, they almost press you. They pick you up on defense at half court. It's crazy. You don't see that in the NBA. And by the end of the game, these superstars are worn out, I guess. But another thing the NBA has done, which I don't like, is they've got this salary system structured to where you can't really get more than 2 superstars on your team at a time because, you can't afford
I thought
it.
only the NFL
It was
did
like
that.
a year or two ago. They changed the salary cap system, and you can't really get more than 2 superstars. And so the NBA is it's getting boring. Like this guy that you're talking about, SGA, he's boring. Halliburton's boring. These are boring players.
Paul, there is a
They have
person named Ramona Courtney.
They have no charisma. None. Zero.
Well,
And-
she's talking about you. I wish Ramona,
So
go
listen.
and make your comments on YouTube. But anyway, go ahead,
So
Paul.
he has no charisma. Neither one of these guys have charisma to be the face of the NBA. And the NBA is it's just become boring. I can't watch it. All they do is
You
come
think
down
the
court.
NBA is boring?
All they do is come down court and jack threes. Nobody plays defense. It's just kind of boring.
No.
I mean, you're just trying to see who hits the most threes. That's what determines the game now. I mean, do you doubt it? I mean, we can look and see how many threes they shot in the last game.
In the last game, yeah.
I mean, it's getting boring.
What do you think about Halliburton?
I think they're all good players. I just don't think
What
they're
do you think about his shot?
the one that bounced up and bounced in. Which one
No,
was it?
his shot. He has a very ugly shot.
I don't even notice. All everybody does is
His
take.
shot is kind of like the people that we used to play on the basketball court with when we were younger.
Yeah.
And the person would come in and he would have an ugly shot, but for some
And
reason
they
it
go
would
in. Well,
He's making a lot of those ugly shots go in.
I just think none of these guys. So see that guy number 7 in the background? That's the skinny dude I was telling you. There's no way he would be a player on the inside against Shaquille O'Neal, Olajuwon, all the players that
He's
we
like
grew.
7'2" or 3.
He could not play with Shaquille. He could not play with Olajuwon.
Well, he doesn't have
He
the
couldn't
weight,
play
for
with David
sure.
Robinson. Right. But these are the way the players are looking now because everybody's shooting threes. And it's just boring. It's just boring.
Oh, the tall ones shoot 3 as well.
Everybody shoots 3. In fact, the only person who doesn't shoot threes is Giannis, right? And he's a throwback player who had been very good in the era that I grew up in, but nobody plays defense anymore. It's I don't mean to say zero defense, but there's no defense being played. You can't get close to touching a person. It's just, they just come down court and jack threes. It's not even entertaining. Okay, so we got some comments coming here. I'm reading them.
You read them?
We saw this one already.
No, we didn't. That's a different one.
Oh.
That's a different one.
We've read all
Yeah,
these.
you would need to get paid attention and not slap
we-
with the government. We didn't read that.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, did we?
Because they talks that we don't have government class anymore.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Definitely saw this one.
Is eliminated was single women like the Tyler Perry movie Straw.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Scroll. But anyway. What's going on?
Yeah. We grown folks. Okay.
All right,
Southern states have these. Go ahead, Paul.
Jim Crow's test to stifle. Right. I think we're kind of behind on the comments.
And they did it. Yeah, we are behind.
I think we're way behind.
Because they got a roll. We can't just play the comments and not play the show. I don't know what you were asking about. The answer was
St. Matthews. What? Y'all went to school together. That's good to know.
Wow, they are going at it. Here we go. Minister Wayne Shimwell.
Yeah, we saw that.
Israel Justice. Yeah,
bomb that ran.
we just saw that, Wayne. I'm just praying, Wayne, and I know you're praying, man. I'm just praying that we can get through these 4 years without another massive dying of Americans like COVID. And I don't mean just through a vaccine. I mean through something else. I mean through a local civil war or something like that. This is really getting bad.
Well, what this brings into crystal clear reality is that a U.S. president can't stop two other countries from going to war with each other. No matter how much one person stands up on the podium and says, well, this war would have never started if I was president. It's crap. You can't stop it. Boy, that Tangerine Jack is popping.
They was talking about the guy that was asking Stephanie.
Oh. You like apples, Carl?
I love apples.
Apple bottoms, I think she means.
I love apples.
I think she means apple bottoms. Red apples.
I do like red apples.
What y'all talking about?
What are you going back in my past? What do you know about me and red apples? No, I don't know about that.
Thanks, Renee. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Alvin.
His soap opera is called The Oval. It's just like Carl said, nudity with men.
Well, he did dress up like a woman for
7
but
movies. that's different. Is
it different?
It's really just. I'm just telling you, Paul. It's really just like it's a weird feeling. It's a weird.
But you
feeling
kept watching.
Listen.
You didn't turn it off.
Paul, stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop.
You watched it.
Stop.
The whole. I ain't never seen it.
Another bourbon balls discussion.
I ain't never seen
it. No, just stop. What I'm saying is that you watch a movie, you get into the plot, you get thick into it, and any scene will pass you by. It may be a scene of a bloody shooting, but you keep watching it. So, the fact that nudity comes on the screen, that doesn't mean that you stop watching. I'm just saying that, I haven't seen Oval. I haven't seen that at all, but I'm sure there's a lot of naked men in there if it's produced by Tyler Perry.
Yeah, when I looked him up, I didn't know he did all those movies.
Yeah, he's a very, very talented person. What is Renee laughing about?
You know what she's laughing at. Look at the comment before.
Oh, is there a comment before?
Yes. We're not gonna have that discussion. We're not gonna have that discussion again.
Oh, Monique.
Y'all still thinking about them chocolate salty balls, huh?
It's a family show, Paul?
Not no more. So the question was about the NBA. Who do you think's going to win? You think it's going to be OKC?
I told you it was OKC. I've already said that I think OKC is going to win it. I think OKC is going to win it. But, it wouldn't surprise me if Indiana won it because Indiana played very, very well.
Sitting on the fucking fence right there. You've been screaming at Oklahoma City for 6 weeks, and now that they're about to lose, you're like, well, I wouldn't be surprised if Indiana won.
They are not.
I mean, now that Paul told me that Indiana was good, and they're kicking Oklahoma City's butt, I guess they could win.
Pacers is never out of a game down by 25. They can come back. Yeah.
All right, we just watching TV. That's all we doing.
There you go, Paul.
We just get on you both. You have to post that in the comments.
And what?
They did a skit on us. They imitated us.
Yeah, we're surprised. The producer is not here locally. The producer is in Lexington, and he told us to play some of those videos that y'all posted on the page. We don't see that.
No, we when y'all post stuff on the page, we can't see it until the next day. Until the show.
Wow, the guy, Paul, is a negative person.
Huh?
Sorry I missed the full segment. Yeah, you can go back and listen to was it last week or the week before?
Who's a negative person?
That's what Ramona Courtney said of you.
Who's Ramona Courtney?
I don't know. It's just somebody who's watching.
Call me negative.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm pretty positive.
Very, very negative.
So maybe I have to be negative because he's positive, so we need to cancel
just
out.
This month, she doesn't rob the bank. That's the first thing Ramona said. Then she said, just this month on Netflix. Then she said, yes, and also a mental health issue with all women. It's not a regular Tyler Perry movie. Wow, this guy Paul is a negative person. Sorry, I missed the full segment.
Ramona still saying it? She has said it twice.
No, she just said it that one time.
Well,
Paul is a realist. He's not negative.
Thank you, Monique. She got my back. Just keeping it real.
What kind of movie did y'all do? I'm curious.
I want to see it. Anyway, what else we got?
Wait a minute. Hold on. You said who is the producer, and it's not a he, Carl. No, the producer is a he. He's out of Lexington.
Pause. Don't be shy. Man, they are going off and the comments.
Hijacked. Paul thinks y'all hijacked the comments. Anyway, Paul, it's 9:56. I know we want to do our thing and get out. Your last words.
She said, "Can you put that comment up?" I think she's talking about me. Yeah, I mean the show. I really just wanted y'all to learn, not learn, but we wanted to show these. I was scrolling across the internet looking up stuff, and I saw these stupid tests, and I thought to myself, how the heck did this ever get normalized? I mean, for 1960 to 60 to 65, it was normalized. Think how crazy that is, that you would have had to take a test with a bunch of tricky answers, and nobody really cared whether you passed the test or not, because you was
just
designed.
Said they dropped another one. Okay.
Designed
all right, producer. Thank you.
To fail.
Oh, you said the tests were.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing like last week. Can't be funny every week, y'all. Can't be funny every week.
What can't be funny? The show?
You know, we can't have a laugh for like LOL. Remember LOL? Yeah, remember that one? LOL.
All right, y'all, listen. I wonder where Chuck is these days.
I think he worked for the county. Did he work?
No, he didn't. He didn't take that job. He's. I'm not sure where he is, but
still love him.
I can't believe that he sat there. I can't believe that he sat there and just kept saying "LOL, LOL."
That's his personality.
LOL.
We just too old to understand what's going on.
I don't know if we're too old.
Anyway, too old.
Last comments, guys.
Professor, you're always dropping knowledge. Your wealth of knowledge is appreciated. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Wealth of knowledge. I only have a coin for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anyway, Paul, those are your last words?
I don't have any last words because I'll be back next week.
Maybe you will be back next week. I'm going to be going to Chicago. I'm going to be going to Indianapolis. I'm going to be going to Baltimore. I got some traveling to do this summer. I cannot believe. But anyway, for all of y'all who didn't know, this has been Conscious Fever here on ICE Entertainment Television and Conscious Fever Radio. And I am Carl Price. That was Paul Mullins you were just listening to. She said that no, that Chuck guy was extra ultra. Hold on, was ultra dry? Did you didn't want that? Why didn't you want us to read that?
Man, I'm not dissing Chuck, man.
We're not diss. Anyway, y'all. Anyway, I'm Carl Price. That's Paul Mullins. This has been. I'm Carl Price. That's Paul Mullins. This has been Conscious Fever here on ICE Entertainment Television and Conscious Fever Radio. I don't know, with all this drama going on, maybe we'll be back next week. Anyway,
I'm going home to see what's going on in Iran
and Israel and Iran.
I mean, are these big bombs, small bombs? They cross the border. They hit a city. All that matters.
Next week, y'all. We'll see you there.
Thank you for watching the Conscious Fever podcast. We will see you next week.
When you need the best sound, when you want the best songs, tune in. We're here for you. The best radio in town all day long.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Like the river I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming. But I know change gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die. 'Cause I don't know what's up there
I know a change gonna come. Oh, yes, it is. Then I go to my brother. And I say, brother, help me please. But he whined.